It is not an act of love or compassion to entertain somebody else in their own delusion. You know what's interesting is by nature, I think I'm a fairly agreeable person. Whenever I meet new people, I see myself or watch myself as if I was watching a stranger try and conform to their belief systems, their ideas, their interests, and ultimately their values. And whilst I think this is a fairly commendable skill to, make these connections, make new friends, I think it is absolutely detrimental to your character evolution in the long term. The world now is so hilariously sensitive. Never before in the history of the human race could you say something as contentious as a man can't be a woman, or a woman can't be a man, or being obese isn't healthy, and there be some kind of social reprimand to those particular comments. It takes no high IQ to deduct from this socio-political landscape that we are living in fairyland, in a clown's world where the sky is made out of vanilla frosting and the grass is edible. Or where you can say you can identify as an 8-year-old girl in the morning and before lunchtime a burly 42-year-old builder. And if you empathize with me in these thoughts, then perhaps you've also entertained the second thought, which is, how the fuck, Joseph, did we get in this particular predicament? How the fuck did we get to a point where it is permissible for a man who's been a man for 20 years of his life, can be ranked 462nd in men's swimming, transition to a female, become a woman, and rank number 1 in women's swimming? How is that permissible? Where is the recourse for this, Joseph? Where do we go next? Or what have we done that has essentially brought us to the path that we're on now? And the answer is, my friend, something that you can do today, this afternoon, tomorrow, and for the rest of your life, is to stop being so fucking nice. Nice is the last thing you want to be described as a man in this world. Not just for yourself, your growth, and your own individual evolution, but for society, for the future of the human race. Like I prefaced, to a degree, I am an agreeable person at heart. I mean, at school, this was probably even more pronounced. I found myself, having perhaps too many social circles, and you should always be suspicious of individuals that have too many friends, too many social connections, because you can't have every interest. You can't have every opinion, opposing and for. You can't have all those values that coalesce with each particular group. And you end up being a liar. You end up being two-faced. You end up playing both sides of the pitch. These people are liars and untrustworthy at heart. And I learned this to my own detriment. I mean, I learned to despise the word nice because it was synonymous with compliance, with weakness. And it's not even that, it's not having an opinion. And if you don't have an opinion, you end up being the mouthpiece for the particular group or ideology that you belong to. And the response is, don't be so fucking nice. Be polarizing. I'm not saying don't be kind. That is a completely different word. Be kind. Don't be callous. Don't be, don't be mean. But certainly don't be nice. Certainly don't be nice. I'm saying have an opinion. Have an intelligent opinion. Have something that's fleshed out, that you've done your own reading, your own research, even if it's just your anecdotal experience. But don't be the mouthpiece for somebody else's particular ideological rhetoric. Having no opinion at all and going with the masses of the group is the biggest insult to the socio-political landscape that we now live in. When you bite your tongue for fear of reprisal, you are lying to yourself. And lying to yourself is the most insipid habit that you can have in this world today. It is a weakness that, like I have said, has led to this skewy, wishy-washy, lawless predicament that we find ourselves in. And here, in fact, is the most important distinction of all, because you do hold this opinion very near and dear to your heart whenever you're in these particular bouts of, I don't want to say arguments, but let's say debates with somebody who is compassionate, because that is ultimately where that argument stems from. It's compassion. I want to be compassionate and loving to this individual by giving them what they want now. But here is the uncompassionate thing. It is not a loving thing to lie to people. It's not a compassionate thing to lie to people. It is not an act of love or compassion to entertain somebody else in their own delusion. It may feel like that in the short term when you're trying to appease someone and their points of view and their feelings in the moment where they're sensitive or had a traumatic experience. It may feel that way. You will feel the allure, as we all do as compassionate human beings, to give them what they want in their moment. But there's a reason that we don't let our kids eat sweets for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, because we know in the long term it's not a loving thing to delude them in that fact, that it's going to be detrimental on their health in the long term. It might give them pleasure in the short term, joy in the short term, but it is not an act of compassion to delude themselves and thinking that there is no consequence, that there is no recourse for the decisions that they make today. And I wanted to end on something a little bit more specific, because I wanted to give some context for the situation that absolutely broke my heart in reading the other day. So I'm going to bring up this Reddit post in just a moment, and I'm just going to share this with you now. So this particular post comes from a D-trans post on Reddit, and it's titled, "I missed my breasts so much." So it starts, "I'm sitting in bed crying because I just miss my breasts so much. I got top surgery," which is a surgery where they remove the best breast tissue, "when I was 18. I'm now 27. Even if I get implants, they won't be actually mine. I want mine back. Not only were they mine, but they were great looking. I will never have them back, never. I never ever thought that this would happen to me. I was always 1,000,000% sure that I made the right decision. But the past couple years, I finally realized, and it's so fucking hard to comprehend this and accept it. I'm going through a mourning period right now of my old body. I miss it so much. I look at girls nowadays, any girl, and I'm completely jealous. At least they still have their natural body. I feel like an imposter, like I can't even claim that I'm actually a girl, even though I am. My voice is fucked. I have no boobs. I'm constantly worried about passing as a female, even though I fucking am one. I feel so much regret, and it's eating me alive." And gentlemen, it breaks my heart reading that story and sharing it with you. And it just goes to show how more stoic we need to be. This is what the radical leftists fail miserably to understand. The future, it seems, has no bearing on their opinion, and they are naive as they are stupid. And as a man, you cannot allow yourself to entertain this kind of stupidity. Look to your fathers, look to your grandfathers. This is what it really makes me think of. They had real challenges in their lives, not this wishy-washy identity politics bullshit. No nonsense. No nonsense. Stop being so fucking nice. Have an opinion. Stop leaning on the fence. Gentlemen, if you enjoyed this video, if you subscribe to anything of which I have said, then you can subscribe to me, and I'll bring you something else very, very soon. You take care.